This is the Grand Tapestry podcast, brought to you by My Family Channel. Each one of our elders' stories is a unique thread in the grand tapestry of American history. In this podcast, we will explore them one by one, to honor them, and to gain perspective through their experience.
Hello, I'm Todd Smith from My Family Channel, and this is the Grand Tapestry podcast. We are here today with Miss Katherine Wheat from Magnolia Springs, East Louisville, in Louisville, Kentucky. Thank you, Miss Wheat, for joining us today. We appreciate you giving us your time and telling us your story.
Well, glad to be here.
All right. So let's just start with, you want to tell us about when you were born and where you were born?
I was born February the 22nd, 1926 in Irving, Kentucky.
Irving, Kentucky.
It's up about 40 miles or 50 miles from Lexington.
Huh. I've never heard of. Is that a small town?
It's sort of medium.
Okay. And what was it like growing up? Did you grow up in Irving?
Yeah.
So what was that like?
Well, it's a small, sort of a medium-sized town, and it's a railroad town. They take coal out of those knobby mountains. So my dad, he maintained the engines for those coal miners.
What did you do for fun as a child in Irving?
Oh, we played hopscotch and checkers and jump ropes and climb fences and
Good old childhood stuff, right?
Yeah, just bounced around in the yard.
Do you have any special memories from that time that come to mind?
Well, I don't know. It's a very happy time. I don't know anything special.
Okay. What about when you were a teenager? Were you still in Irving?
We moved out about a mile out of town, and I walked into high school.
Walked to high school? A mile?
It was probably about a mile or two.
Or two? Wow.
Well, I don't know, really.
So both directions every day. I think kids today would find that amazing.
Well, I think it keeps you walking.
Good point. What did you do for fun as a teenager?
Well, we played ball and hopscotch and jump ropes and played checkers and I don't know.
So that's probably around the time of World War II, I guess. Any memories
The World War II.
come to mind about around the war?
Well, my brother lost his life in the military at the age of 18
I'm so sorry.
in France, Normandy, invasion in France.
Wow. I'm sorry to hear that. What about fads from your youth? Hairstyles, clothing?
Well, I was a redhead, and I had real thick, kinky hair, and I didn't have to get a perm.
Poodle skirts, jitterbug, anything like that?
When I became wedded very early in life, I took dance lessons at a church, and jitterbug and waltz and any kind of dance you could do, I could do.
Do you think that kids should be doing those dances? They don't do those dances anymore, do they?
I think it'd be great. I think it keeps you moving.
Sort of the classics.
I think that's the reason I can still walk around pretty good.
All the dancing you did.
All the dancing.
And the walking.
We did it at church.
So you mentioned you were married fairly early?
I was 22 or 3. I think I was 23.
You want to tell us about your husband and your children?
I met my husband in college. He went into the military, I think at the end of his junior year in college, and spent 4 years in the military in Fort Worth.
And did you have children?
I've got 2 sons and a daughter. I've got a son in South Carolina, and he's was a bank manager. And my son's an attorney, and my daughter's a teacher.
Do you have any advice for young people today starting out in life? Maybe they just got married. Maybe they just graduated from high school or college. Do you have any words of wisdom or advice for young people?
Well, I think it's pretty good to keep them in college, yes, in school.
Stay in school.
Yeah. And I don't know. No drinking or smoking's pretty good.
Okay. How about secrets for a happy marriage? How long were you married?
Well, my husband died at the age of 40.
In his 40s?
Yeah, in
Oh,
his
that's
middle
young.
40s. And I had 3 kids to put through college myself.
Oh, wow. So were you working? Did you have
I taught.
You were a teacher?
I was a teacher. I started at the age of 18.
Huh. Wow. What did you teach?
The war was on, and our homeroom teacher came in, said they needed teachers. Were any of us interested? And there were 3 of us girls, and I said, let's sign up for this. And we did, and I got hired, and I taught and went to college and taught and went to college.
Wow.
I put myself through college.
So you were working, you went to college, and raising 3 kids.
Uh-huh.
That's a busy.
Yeah.
That's busy.
But we made it. I didn't go out and splurge.
Yeah. So what advice would you give to someone in middle age, someone who's maybe got some years behind them, but still some years ahead? Any words of wisdom for someone in their 40s or 50s? What should they be thinking about?
Well, I don't know. I guess the main thing is to keep working
Keep working.
and educate your kids. And I shouldn't say it, I guess, but I don't think you should be out drinking and carrying on.
Well, you can say it, whatever you want to say. You've got the microphone. That's good advice. Let's talk about technology. You've lived through the time before computers and the time after computers.
I know nothing about computers. I'm the only one in the world that doesn't have a computer. I've got a typewriter.
Well, that's a type of technology, actually, a typewriter. Do you think computers have improved the world? Are computers a good thing or not a good thing?
Oh, I imagine they're a good thing,
thing.
but I never had any need for one, so I never did get one.
Do they seem like complicated or confusing or?
I don't understand them because I never used one.
Okay.
My kids have them, but I don't.
Yeah. Young kids are
Well, that's-
really young.
That's part of the deal now, isn't it?
So who is the person that has influenced you the most in your life?
I guess my mother and dad
Mom and dad?
and husband.
What were your mom and dad like?
Well, we never missed a meal in our life, and we were always canceled on what to do and what not to do, and
That's nice.
so we grew up pretty good.
You said you never missed a meal. So you mean like the family sat down
Yeah,
and
at a certain time and
like every day?
every day.
That's amazing to me. Because I mean, I have 2 kids and everyone's so busy, and that just seems like nearly impossible to achieve that.
We always had a pretty good schedule. Went to bed pretty early, a certain time. Got up a certain time. Sort of had a schedule in life.
Well, see, I think there's a lot of wisdom in that. I think people, young people listening to this is part of why we want to do this. We want to learn from those who have come before us, and just the simple things, right? Schedule, family meals,
Yeah, regular.
how important those things are. And in a modern lifestyle with technology, we could argue that even though technology is great, it sort of scatters us too. It makes it easier to be too busy and move too fast. And, so it's good to have a glimpse into what it was like before technology.
Yeah.
Okay. What do you think was the happiest moment of your life, or a special memory that comes to mind? Anything stick out?
I had a very happy life.
That's great.
We were always counseled by our parents what to do, what not to do, and we did it.
That's another good one. So you took your parents' advice pretty well, you think?
I never smoked and I never drank.
Wow.
I was over in the rec hall at college, and everybody was having a beer but me, and this guy sitting by me, he kept saying, "Well, Kay, don't you want a beer? Don't you want a beer?" So that went on and on and on. I picked his up and I said, "Now I know I don't want a beer."
Didn't taste good, huh?
Well, we just didn't drink beer. Yeah. I never drank a beer in my life.
Wow. That's quite a statement to be able to say that. Yeah.
And didn't drink too many Cokes. We drink milk and juice.
Milk and juice. Well, so you have the microphone and you have the floor. Is there anything that you want to say to the world? Any words of wisdom for the kids today? Anything you want to get out there?
Well, I don't know. Not especially.
Okay. What do you think about what's going on today? And do you keep tuned into the politics and world affairs and what's going on in the world today?
I don't know much about that.
That's probably just as well, actually. It's pretty crazy right now. Well, just for our last question, and this is kind of a reflective question, but how would you like to be remembered? What would you like people to remember about Miss Katherine Wheat?
I don't know. That I tried to do my best for other people, take care of my family. And
that sounds great. Now, see, if everyone could just do that.
That's the main thing.
What a world it would be, right?
Keep them on a good schedule.
All right. Well, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you.
Hope you enjoyed this as much as we did.
I didn't even know what it was going to be.
Well, thanks for playing along.
Thank you.
Thank you for listening to the Grand Tapestry Podcast, brought to you by My Family Channel. Please visit us at myfamilychannel.com and be sure to rate, review, and subscribe to our podcast on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, or your favorite listening directory.